Welcome to Kids Cooking for Kids.
Today we're going to be making fresh tomato salsa.
You can tell a good tomato if it's nice and firm, not really squishy.
Today we are making fresh homemade tomato soup. Welcome to our show. It's all about kids, cooking, and having fun. Help! And then you help them out with pot. And come over here.
You smell that? Guess you smell anything? I smell mine.
See, I don't smell anything.
Yeah.
Mine smells. Hey, no double dipping. Wash, wash, wash. Many people ask us, why a kids cooking show? The reason we do the show is because we love to eat and we enjoy cooking a lot. We started helping Mom in the kitchen when we were about 5 years old. Like many kids, we helped her bake cookies, but we became more adventurous and branched out to other areas of cooking. But mostly, we were getting hungrier. Let's check in with Brian, our resident professional. He's going to teach us how to choose high-quality foods.
I love produce because I love vegetables. You guys like vegetables?
Yes.
Good, good. Well, this is asparagus season, and one of the things to know about shopping for produce is it's always good to learn what is in season, because we're in California in a local market with a lot of this produce that's grown right around here. That's the great thing about local produce. When asparagus, for example, is in season, the price comes down, right? If asparagus is not in season, it's going to be shipped here from another country, like Mexico or Chile, and it's going to be very expensive. This is fresh asparagus, USA, from California, and it's in season, so it's a really good price. Now, when you shop for asparagus, what you want to look for is you want to look at the tips, and you want to look at the stalk. The tips, you want to see them closed and tight. See, closed and tight. Here's one that's not that good. If you see like this here, see that there, or here, bruised, open. That means it's older, it's been handled a little too much. This is a beautiful head of asparagus with the fresh tips. And then also, you don't want to see wrinkles in here. When these start to get older, they start to shrivel some. So that's a really nice bunch of asparagus. This is artichoke season. You can touch those artichokes. When you have an artichoke, what you want to see with an artichoke is a tightly closed artichoke. You don't want to see these open things like this. If you do, that means they're getting too old. So if you look at these artichokes up here, you can see they're all nice and tightly closed like a little flower. And that's a sign that you've got a fresh artichoke. And you can look down here to see this is where they cut it out in the field. They cut it right there. But you can see this is still nice and firm. It's not kind of wrinkling and shriveling and stuff like that. So from here to here, you got a nice, full, tight artichoke. On the broccoli, you want to see that this is all the same greenness around here. You don't want to see yellow underneath here, which you do sometimes when it gets older. You want it to be firm to the touch that, okay? You don't want it to start getting soft. They'll get soft, kind of like wilty. And again, the stalk is really in nice condition. There's no bruises, it's not shrivelly. It's just a really nice piece of broccoli from top to bottom.
How do you know if it's fresh?
Visually, okay? Visually with your eyes. So what we talked about was the way the asparagus tips should look, the way the asparagus stalk should look, the way the artichoke bulb should look, how this should feel. You know, buying produce is a touching experience. You pick it up and you touch it. So people don't buy vegetables like this. Now, you pick it up, touch it, look at it. You know, this is merchandise. This is stuff you're spending your money on. So look, touch it, and if you have any questions, ask the person who's running the produce area. They'll always help you.
What advice do you have for picking good vegetables for kids who don't live in California?
Well, that's a very good question. You know, it's pretty much the same thing for any kid who goes to the store. You don't have to live in California. We're a little spoiled because we do here. But so much of this produce goes all over. Once you kind of know the tips of how to shop for the produce, it doesn't matter where you live. Just long as you know how to shop and you know what to look for.
Farmers markets are great. They're a good place to find local foods, and you get to meet some really nice people, too. You can tell a good tomato if it's nice and firm, not really squishy, and if it doesn't have a lot of little rough grit like that. Don't want a lot of that. These are really nice tomatoes. Get like two. You get to taste things, too. And that's not something you can normally do at the grocery store. We'll be right back. And we'll finally get to some cooking. Welcome back. Let's get cooking. We're going to join our friend Brian and get some insider tips for the kitchen.
Today we're going to talk about mise en place. Mise en place is a French term. It means to have everything in its place. And so before you start cooking, you want to go ahead and have all your ingredients ready around you. So for example, if we're going to make a tomato sauce today, okay, a basic tomato sauce is going to have onions, garlic, olive oil to saute the onions and garlic with, tomatoes, and some herbs. Mise en place, French word, means to have everything in place. And the reason why you want to do that is because it allows you to concentrate better on your cooking. So you don't want to say, I'm going to saute the onions and the garlic, and then while they're sauteing, I'm going to go get the can of tomatoes and open it up. You can do that, but that's less organized, and it takes your attention away because you guys as kids are learning how to cook right now. Mm-hmm. So the way you do it is you chop your onions, chop your garlic, you can leave them on your cutting board, go get your tomatoes, open them up, have them here ready, have your herbs, if you have a recipe you're using, measure them out, and have everything ready, and then you move everything over to your area there where you're going to actually do your cooking, and then you could concentrate because you're learning right now how to cook. Do you understand how that works? Yeah. It's much more organized. So what's the term? What's it called?
Mise en place.
Mise en place. Very good.
Today, before we get cooking, we'll show you some basic safety tips in the kitchen. Remember, if you need help with anything in the kitchen, don't just go out on the ledge and do it. Ask your mom or dad for help. So if you can't light the stove, you don't know how to, then just, ask them for help. They'll come and help, with whatever you need to do. When in doubt, wash, wash, wash. Okay, if you don't understand something in the recipe, that seems like it could be very extremely important, even if it's not that important, ask your mom or dad or aunt or uncle or grandma or grandpa, stepfather, for help. So if you don't understand why we have to add basil nuts to the Hyperflagenschneigen, then ask your mom or dad or stepfather or grandmother, grandfather for help. Little trick from my mom we learned is that clean as you go. So if I'm cooking so far and adding this, William is cleaning a pot that we have just used. Now, but who cares? I mean, why don't we just clean it all up afterward? Well, if you want to spend the next hour cleaning up dishes and messes and spills, then by all means, go ahead. But if you want to have some time to play some video games after you cook, then I suggest you do that.
Today we're going to make fresh tomato salsa. This is one of our family favorites. It is low in calories and high in flavor. It's an easy way to impress your friends when they come over to hang out.
Smell the lime juice. It's beautiful. Today we're going to be making fresh tomato salsa. What we're going to be using is 4 medium tomatoes, or 1.5 pounds, 1/4 cup of chopped onion, 1/4 cup of lightly packed fresh cilantro leaves, a small clove of garlic, minced, and 3 tablespoons of lime juice. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the tomato to a medium bowl. Then we're going to add the onion. Then we're going to add the cilantro. Then we're going to add the garlic. Now, Michael's going to stir that with a wooden spoon. Then we're going to add the lime juice. Stir that up a little. You want to kind of stir it around, like scoop it up. Make sure that you can, like there's no one part where there's a lot of tomatoes or a lot of onions or a lot of one ingredient. Now we're going to add our 2 tablespoons of olive oil. There we go. 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. And there you go. Now we're going to add some salt. Check that out. Alright. Pinch of salt. We're using kosher salt today. Hey, no double dipping. It's great, and it looked like it came together extremely quickly, and it did, but it was a lot of prep work. We got to cut the tomatoes, mince the garlic, we got to cut up the cilantro, got to cut up the onions. You know, it doesn't take that long, but compared to how much time it takes to make, it seems longer. But the payoff is definitely worth it.
Safety in the kitchen is very important.
Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you guys is whenever you get your cutting board out to do your work, you need to put something underneath it so it doesn't slide. Because if it slides, what's going to happen is when you go to cut and it moves like this, what do you think might happen?
Finger chopping?
What was that?
Fingers.
You might cut your fingers. Yeah. So it's real simple. What I always do is I'll just grab a couple paper towels, make them a little bit wet, put it underneath because it's just going to go ahead and kind of press down. That might be a little bit thick, just like that. And then what happens, now try moving your cutting board. Okay? So now it doesn't move anymore.
Very cool.
Very safe, very sturdy, very simple. And when you're done, just grab that, throw it away, and then next time you come back, you put out another one, and you're ready to go.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm Will, and we're here at the San Francisco Food Bank.
So today, this is our warehouse, and as you can see, it's a huge warehouse. It's 55,000 square feet. And what we do here is we collect food from all different sources: growers, shippers, the Department of Agriculture, individuals like you when you donate at the holidays for food drives, as well as the retail industry. And we bring that food into our warehouse, volunteers help us collect it, distribute it, and we take it out to the community, to people in need.
We want you to get involved and help stop hunger in your community. Find out if there is a food bank in your local area and volunteer to organize a food drive. Ask your parents and teachers to help, or contact us and we will help you get the information you need. There are nearly 13 million children in America who go hungry every day. They need our help. This is a problem kids can help solve. Please join us and let's make sure no child goes hungry.
We're going to add
We'll be right back.
all 14.5 ounces.
Welcome back. Let's get cooking. Today we are making fresh, homemade tomato soup. Once again, Mom is our inspiration here. Tomato soup is great as a starter for an evening meal or all by itself for lunch. We've always liked tomato soup, but we really like it when we make it ourselves.
The ingredients we'll be using are sugar, salt, green onions, then we have 1 cup of chicken broth, 14.5 ounces of tomatoes, and pepper. We have our ingredients here and we're gonna mix them all up in our blender. We're gonna add all the tomatoes, all 14.5 ounces. Doesn't have to be exact, just as long as you at least have 14, somewhere around 0.5. That's why we have a clean countertop. Now that we have the tomatoes in, William is gonna add the 1 cup of chicken broth to the mix. One cup of chicken broth. Just bring that back over here. Now we're gonna add the 3 green onions, chopped. Now we're gonna add a 1 teaspoon, that is half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon? No, it says 1 teaspoon. So it's half a teaspoon of salt. Oh, I knew that. And William's gonna carry the ramekin over. We made a mistake with the sugar. You're supposed to actually it's good to carry the ramekin or whatever you're using. Now that we've added all the other ingredients, we're gonna add pepper. What we've just done is called mise en place. Have you seen in previous shows where we get all the stuff ready, like we've chopped up all the tomatoes and all the green onions, put out the broth and other ingredients. Now I'm gonna go over and mix it. Put the lid securely on. Make sure it's nice and secure. And you want to start off at a slower speed. You need to get it a little more till it's smooth. I'd say that's smooth. Let's call it smooth. Call it smooth. Now we're gonna pour it into a medium saucepan. And let it come to a boil over medium heat. High heat. After it's come to a boil, you're going to let it simmer until it thickens, about 15 minutes, and you should come up with about 2.5 cups of soup. Anytime we have soup, we love to have it with bread. And we just got some bread from a local bakery, potato rosemary bread. And this potato rosemary bread will very nicely complement the soup. So good.
Let's get out of the kitchen. Good nutrition and lots of exercise is very important. It's important to get out and get at least a half an hour of exercise every day. Here's what's coming up next week on Kids Cooking for Kids. Today we're going to be making a nice butter lettuce salad with tangerines and homemade vinaigrette.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about poultry. That's a perfect color right there. It's a natural color of the chicken.
Today, we're going to be making a dish called smashed potatoes.
So what I mean by slow strain is you start to let it come in gently like that, and what that does is that forms a little bit of what's called an emulsion.
Okay. And
So does shopping. Wait, what?
really like to eat and cook.
Never lean against the stove after you're done cooking with it, because I keep stuttering. It's time to say the YMCA. And one little thing I want to mention about... Nice! Did you say
All right, stand by. Stand by, settle down.
But over time, we became more adventurous and... Adventurous? What's adventurous? We'll look that up.
Be sure and visit our website for recipes from our show. There's information on how to contact us with questions. We've got web links to help you find information on how to help hungry children.
Pepper. We have added garlic. 1 cup of carrots.